Hi, everyone. Welcome to day 6 of happiness during the holiday season. It's 7 o'clock and we're going to get started. We have a few people coming onto the call. I'm going to just wait for everyone to get situated. As always, I definitely recommend that you're able to go ahead and get a paper, pen, whatever you need to write on, to take notes, and I'll give you a few moments to get settled in. In case you're new to the webinar, I am a certified life coach through the International Coaching Federation. My name is Amanda. I am also a trainer for positive psychology. And what my goal is in order to reach as many people as possible this holiday season, I've created this free webinar series. And I really want to be able to touch as many lives as possible. I know how difficult the holiday can be for so many people. And I want to be able to provide services and ideas, alternatives for people that are struggling during the holiday season. It could be a challenge as far as stress, finance, anxiety, depression. There's so many different emotions that come up during the holiday season. So each day I'm providing the webinar, and within 24 hours you'll have the replay. There's an opportunity, if you have any questions, to ask questions. And there is also a delay that I want to mention. Sometimes there's a minute or so delay, so I might not see your questions right away. But just give me the opportunity to answer them for you. And let's see, we still have a few people coming in. I usually give it about 5 minutes for everyone to get signed on and get settled. Let's see. And we still have some people coming in. I want to say also that the response that I've received since I started this, and we're only 6 days in, I've gotten quite a few personal emails from people where they have shared with me things that they needed specifically, things that they struggled with themselves this holiday season. So I want to invite you, if there is anything that you're finding challenging this holiday season, something personal that you're dealing with, please go ahead and share it with me. You can send me an email privately. I will never mention your name, and I'll do my best to try to incorporate it into the program. Today's webinar is going to be dealing with finances during the holiday season. I've gotten quite a few emails of people saying how um, dealing with money during the holiday season can be very stressful. I come from about 20 years working in law and finance prior to coaching, and I have done a tremendous amount of programs on, debt consolidation, all kinds of things. But what my goal was is to give you different ideas, different insights, and take some of the pressure off of what can be really overwhelming, particularly if you're struggling this holiday season. So this webinar, usually they last anywhere from, I want to say, 20 to 45 minutes. I usually have it slotted out for an hour. It would really depend on if we have any questions during this. And I want to make sure that if I have questions that I have the opportunity to answer them. If you post a question and I don't see it or I don't respond, please send me an email. I'm going to give you my email address now and again at the end of the call. Chances are you've probably already gotten an email from me with the replay, but just in case, my email address is amanda@empowerlifecoach.com. All right, so it's 7:05. We're going to get started. If anyone comes in late, they'll be able to go ahead and jump in. It's not a problem. And as I said, today is day 6. So we're going to talk about how to deal with financial stress during the holidays. Sometimes, it feels like you have no control over your finances during the holidays, and the money is just kind of going right through your hands. It's escaping you. What I want to talk about is the importance of having a budget during the holidays. Sometimes if you've listened to the prior webinars and I talked about consumerism and materialism, we get things can get out of control when we're trying to impress everyone else, when we're trying to make sure that we got everybody on the list. Maybe you have a big family, you don't want to forget anyone. Maybe you're struggling and money is tight this year and you can't do what you've done in the past. There's so many different circumstances that are out there, and it's important that you're aware of how much you want to spend and stay with that budget. Do what resonates with you, what feels like a reasonable number that's not going to put you in the hole. Everyone's budget's going to be different. Everyone is in a different place at a different time, and that's okay. So make sure that you shop within your means and shop wisely. You don't have to get the first thing that you see. If you have the time on your hand, then you might want to look online, shop around, check out some different prices. And coupons, don't knock the coupons, because I can remember times where I was struggling and I didn't have the money for the holidays and I had to get creative. And if you go online and you see these deals that are, you know, what's the website I used to use? There was one called Flamingo World. So it's flamingo, like the bird. I think it was flamingoworld.com. It's a couple of years ago that, and I don't know if it's still around. It was probably like 10 years ago. But I can remember I would look online and see what store I wanted to shop at. And they would have these coupons you could print out. So I'd go to Yankee Candle and they'd have, $10 off 25. So there I am with $25 worth of gifts, but I had a $10 coupon, so I only paid 15. Things like that are really helpful. Even just shopping around online, so many people aren't shopping in the stores anymore. You can have the opportunity to do price comparisons. So just shop wisely when you're shopping. You also want to avoid shopping in crowds. A lot of times when you're shopping in a crowd, it increases your anxiety and your stress. You might feel pressure because you're getting bounced around in the aisles. You don't want to stand and look at something too long because people can't get through. You feel shuffled around. It really takes all the joy out of the experience when it's overly crowded. So when it's possible, try to shop at times that are off times from the holiday shopping. You're likely to make better decisions when you're not feeling anxious and that you're under pressure. So when you have your space, your time, and you could do it in a relaxed way, don't save it to the last minute and try to just do everything the day before. Take your time and do it one step at a time. Maybe do a little bit one day, a little bit another day, keeping your budget in mind, not shopping under pressure. You can take some of the stress away from your shopping experience. You also want to make sure to share your situation. If you're struggling financially this year, if you're maybe you have to buy gifts for your children. If they're old enough, talk to them and let them know what's going on. If they're old enough to understand, it's important to make them aware. Maybe they don't know how difficult it is. And it can also be something that's educational for them, because if they're old enough to understand, they're probably not too far away from, you know, stepping into the direction where they have to become eventually independent themselves. So they can learn from this experience and how to deal with, you can be a role model to show them how to deal with, a struggle financially, and let them know, what personally you are experiencing at this time. Maybe you want to share with, I don't know, say your brothers and sisters can chip in on a gift, or you and your friends could chip in on a gift together and buy one nice gift that that someone will really enjoy, instead of feeling that you have to come up with this gift on your own. So reaching out to other people and trying to buy gifts together can take some of the pressure off as well. If you're really struggling and that's not enough. Maybe it's beyond that. Maybe it's beyond a situation of just the overwhelm, but you're really cutting corners and just trying to make ends meet, and you're not sure where your next check is going to come from, and you're really concerned this year. Um, the holiday season doesn't have to slip by you. There's so many things out there that you can do to reach out. There's community centers, churches, organizations. Express that you need help and ask for their, recommendations of what you can do. There's so many programs out there. I know that I volunteer with a church that we bring toys to all different children in the community, and we make sure that no child goes without a gift that year. So see what is available in your community and reach out to them and ask them for help and see what they can help you with. Um, no one deserves to have to struggle, and nobody should have to struggle. There's things out there, there's tools. Sometimes you have to get creative and it might not be as readily available in your neighborhood. You might have to search a little, but there are things that are out there. You might even be able to do something where you can offer to barter um, for a gift, or maybe even food. So maybe they're not in a position that they can just come and they can donate, but maybe they have the opportunity where you can barter. So by donating your time, in their office, they can give you a holiday dinner. There's different things that are available if you have the time. If you invest some of your time into it, I'm sure that there's going to be things you're going to find that are going to be helpful. It's also important for you to change your focus. Spend your time and energy on volunteering this year. So maybe if you don't have the money to have that elaborate holiday season that you thought you were going to have, maybe you're not in the position to give this year financially. Maybe you can't have that big holiday dinner that you're used to cooking or that you would like to make. Change the focus of yourself and those around you and lead by example by stepping up as a leader in your community and start volunteering. When you can volunteer and give back to your community, it is such a rewarding feeling. There are many holidays that I had when I was younger that I didn't feel like I had anyone around me. And my go to was to volunteer. I spent time going to people's houses, bringing them food, bringing toys to the children. And that really, for one, made me appreciate what I did have. And two, it made me realize that, there's always somebody that's struggling more than you are. And to be able to go to the door of someone and see their face and watch them smile and the appreciation and gratitude that they shared with me for being able to give back to them this holiday season was irreplaceable. And it's memories that I'm never going to forget, whether I'm able to volunteer every year or it's, the memories that I've had while I did volunteer. It's something that I'll always remember. And to be able to do that together as a community or with your friends or with your family and change the focus this year. Change the focus on me, me, me. That's not what the holidays are supposed to be about. Holidays are about giving. And so maybe you can't give financially, but you can give your heart. And that's not something you can put a price tag on. So invite your friends, invite your family. Maybe it's something that they've never thought of before. Maybe they don't know where to begin. But if you can step up as a leader in your community and inspire others to do what you're doing, while you're feeling fulfilled, it's guaranteed that that joy is going to spread to the people around you. And there's going to be a greater level of gratitude and appreciation. So changing your focus and how you're approaching the holidays can also help if you're struggling. So don't make the holidays feel like it's about money. If money is what is trouble for you and money is where you're struggling, then don't focus on money. Focus on what you can do. Focus on your time, your energy, your heart, and give what really resonates with you. And get creative. Maybe you want to make things for people that are in your family, or even still to volunteer. When you're creative and you can make things that accentuate what your personal gifts are and what your talents are, then it's just another way of giving. You're still extending your heart because it's personally coming from you. And last, don't go overboard. It's who are you really trying to impress? Once again, go back to the previous video where I talked about materialism and consumerism, because more gifts does not equate to a greater level of happiness. Maybe you're a gifted baker or you're really good at cooking. This picture I thought was perfect because the gifts that they have there are very simple. There's a bag of nuts, there's some cookies. I don't know what the red thing is. It looks like pepperoni, but I can't imagine they would leave that out. I don't know what the red one is. But I think they got some trail mix in there, maybe some more little cookies. But you get the idea. This gift itself might not have been all too expensive to make. All you need is a box, you make some cookies, you wrap them up in a nice little bag, and there's your gifts from everyone. But you know what? If you're thinking about money again and you're trying to put a financial price tag on it, you can't, because when you sat there and you baked those cookies, it came from your heart. So get creative on what you can do. Maybe you have a gift and you have a garden and you have a wonderful abundance of vegetables in your garden or fruit. Then make a basket. If use what you have instead of looking at what you don't have. And once again, change your focus. Sometimes you just have to get creative. Sometimes you have to do things that you might not have done before. There are so many different opportunities, especially during the holiday season, to make extra money. Maybe you're not working. Maybe you're working, but it's not the salary that you need to sustain yourself. Maybe your hours got cut. Maybe you're only getting disability or you recently were injured. There's so many different situations out there. So many people are struggling financially. But think outside of what you have always done. So maybe you were a school teacher and you're not teaching anymore. Maybe you were a mechanic and you were laid off. Whatever the case may be. Okay, so you're still looking for your dream job, but there's other jobs out there. So you could do side gigs. I posted some links and I'm going to post them again in the email when I send it to you. But there's tons of like freelance jobs, gigs, work at home, take a survey, just some extra money. I'm not recommending or suggesting that these are going to be things that are going to make you rich overnight. That's not my intention. But just to have some extra money to help get through your situation. Maybe, you had an injury and you can't stay on your feet all day anymore. Okay, so possibly there might be somebody who's looking for a virtual assistant to work from home and help respond to their emails. There are so many freelance websites out there and people just looking for, short gigs. Maybe you go on Craigslist and someone's looking for someone to help them cook on, an hour a day because they're not that great of a cook and they have a busy schedule and they just want to have a nice dinner for themselves, for their family. And cooking is your strong point. Maybe somebody has a side job and they just need to have, um, you know, the walls painted in their apartment. They want to change the color. There's so many different side things that people post that they need jobs on. And these websites, of course, are not the only ones. I just want to get your mind thinking about what else is out there. There's so many different ideas. I mean, think about what your hobby is and turn it into money. So share your services with people. Get it out word of mouth. Maybe you want to house sit or pet sit, child care, elder care. You're going into somebody's home and you can take care of their pets, watch their home. It's not a tremendous amount of work, but you get a little something extra for it. And if you're staying at somebody's house for a week, and they're on vacation, it's no different than you're staying in your own house. So you still can house sit while you're on the computer working from home as a virtual assistant. Do you understand where I'm going with this? You have to think about what's possible. And instead of living in a routine and saying, well, this is what I did before. It's the only thing I could do. You worked as a teller at a bank and you just keep looking for teller jobs, but you can't find one. Okay, so maybe you want to try customer service. Maybe there's so many, you have to kind of think outside the box. And I'm just giving examples. There's so many examples I could give. Some other things that you could do for additional money, you have, you could do a cleaning service, advertise to in your local community, your neighborhood that you offer these services. Proofreading. Some people do blogs or they have articles they have to write or whatever the case may be. They're writing materials for their business. But they want someone to go in and proofread it. If reading is your strong point and you're great at spelling, you can do proofreading. Virtual assistants, they do so much. I've had a variety of virtual assistants, and I've had them do everything from my marketing work to responding to emails to coordinating speaking engagements. Virtual assistants can do so much, and they do it from their home. So it's very flexible. Maybe you're good at decorating and someone wants to change their apartment, their home. They want to give it a different, feel, and that's just your gift. You don't have to have money to be a decorator. You're just giving the ideas to someone else. You could be a personal shopper, take someone shopping for a dress or for an outfit for an interview. What are you really good at? Maybe you're good at carpentry and handyman work, auto repair. There's so many things that you can do to just create extra money for yourself. So get creative. Think about what's possible and think about what you enjoy. If you're making money, it doesn't always have to be work. You can have fun doing it. I've done pet sitting. And because of my schedule and that I'm traveling and I'm on the go, I'm not home for extended periods of time. It would be unfair for me to have a pet. So in the past, I've done pet sitting. I don't have time to do it anymore, but when I was pet sitting, it was great because I got to have a pet. I love animals, and I really enjoyed it. So think about what you love and then turn what you love into a way to make money. So maybe you've already gone through the holiday season. Maybe you've already spent the money and you're in over your head. So you didn't get to my webinar quick enough and you've already spent everything. And maybe you're not struggling financially in the aspect that you have a job, but now you've spent so much money that you're not sure how you're going to pay for everything that you've done. You put it all on your credit cards. Your credit cards are now maxed out, and you have to figure out how you're going to pay those credit cards. And you don't want to pay the minimum every month and pay all that interest. But you can't seem to figure out that you got through this month, you put it on your credit cards, you got the gifts and the food for the holiday and whatever else you need. But now come January when those bills come in, now you don't know how you're going to pay it all off. As I mentioned, what I do is I do financial coaching. And I've had a couple of people tell me that they're in over their head. I've had a couple of people email me since I started this and tell me that they don't know how they're going to pay all this back. And this is why I put this together. So I offer, as you know, coaching. I do one-on-one coaching. I do empowerment coaching. One of my programs that I do is a one-year budget, and I help you understand how to get out of debt and put yourself on a very reasonable budget for the next year. Now, everybody's level of debt is different. I'm not going to say that everyone is going to be debt-free in a year. That would be an unfair calculation to state that I can't possibly guarantee. Because if you owe $100,000 and you're making $20,000, it's not going to happen in a year. What I do is I put it all right there in front of you on a very simple program that I've compiled so that you can see where you're at. And I live by this. Currently, right now, as I'm speaking to you, my bills are planned out to the end of 2015. I know by the end of 2015, based on average amount of numbers, because I'm working independently, I'm not on a paycheck. If you have a paycheck, it's a lot easier. if your salary fluctuates or you're self-employed, you have an average that you base it on. And I know exactly where I'm at through the course of the year. And it helps to plan when you have, if I have everything mapped out, I can plan for that emergency. I can plan for a vacation and I can know where I'm at. I also am aware of my interest rates. I know what account has to be paid in full, which one has a 0% interest. You have to start to increase your awareness. So if you struggle financially and budgeting is not your strong point, I have a very, very easy way to show you how to do that. So normally for my budget, it's I have a 1 hour phone call and it's $150 when I do that. And we basically take all of the expenses that you have, we import it into the program, and you work off that yourself independently from thereafter. Because of the emails that I've gotten, this isn't part of my normal program for happiness. And as you could tell, this specific call that we're doing is very important. It's given you a lot of different insights and thoughts, but it's not specifically like the past phone calls where I was giving you tools to happiness, although dealing with your finances would take some of the burden off of you. So because of the request for this, I compiled today's webinar, but I'm also offering a limited amount of spaces and to do the 1 year budget for $87 instead of $150. So that's going to just be, I opened up a few spaces on my calendar over the course of the next 2 weeks. So if anyone's interested in just trying to create a budget and understand your money a little better, I would be happy to do that for you. And again, it's for a limited time that I'm doing it. For the 87, it's normally 150. So the website that you would go to sign up, very simple. It's planyourbudget.instapage.com. And I'll be providing that. It's on the screen right now, and I'll be providing that again in the email. And my goal is to help you kind of take the pressure off. $87, it's not what I'm not doing this to get rich or to make money off you. It's still my time, and I wanted to be able to give back and make it a reasonable amount that people are able to really just take this pressure off and not feel so overwhelmed. So I'm hoping that the people that asked for it, they receive this, and I'm able to help you with your budget and just take some of the pressure off, see in black and white where you're at, where you can, maybe cut some expenses. And I've done this with quite a few people, and believe it or not, people see that once it goes on paper, it's a lot easier to manage your time, to take the pressure off, and you have more money than you think you do sometimes. I'm not saying that's the case for everyone. I know we're all in different situations. By putting it into the budget, if you have no paycheck and you have no income, maybe we could talk and we can get creative, like some of the things that I shared earlier, and find what your goals are and help get you back on your feet again so that you do have income coming in. There's always options. So if you have any questions, you can send me an email. I'm going to leave you a moment if you have any questions, I'll respond to them on the side of the screen. There's a chat box. You can ask questions on the side. And I'll give you a few moments just in case you have any questions at all. You can type it in the chat box on the right-hand side. Otherwise, we'll be wrapping up. It's usually about a 1-minute delay, so just in case you're typing anything, I'm going to give a few minutes for the response to come in for the questions. And if I happen to end this before I see your question, you can always send me an email. I know sometimes the question box has been quirky. And I've also heard that a few people have gotten multiple emails, and I'm not sure what that's about, but you should only be getting 1 email a day. So if you've gotten multiple emails, I do apologize. I'm only the messenger. It's not my platform, and I haven't created the software, but I will reach out to them to find out what's going on. So, okay, so I don't see any questions, so we're going to be wrapping up today. I'm going to send you a replay of this. Again, if you are interested in trying to get your finances in order, you're more than welcome to sign up. And again, it's planyourbudget.instapage.com. It's just a one-page link that I created where you can sign up right there. It's $87, and it'll bring you right to my calendar to schedule an appointment. So I will be seeing all of you again tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I'm really happy to be able to give this to you as a gift. And once again, if you know anyone who you think may benefit from this program and is really struggling at the holidays, every day is something new. I write the program literally every day. I make a new presentation based upon the emails that I'm receiving, and if there's no, and I'm also trying to balance in the materials that I've written already. So once again, I'm trying to reach all of your emails. If you've hearing this message and you've sent me a personal email and I haven't responded yet, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's not that I don't plan to respond to you. I just got a lot more emails in than I had hoped for, which is wonderful because it means that people are hearing this message and I'm reaching the people that need to hear it, which is my goal. So please share this message, share the webinar. We still have another, what are we on, day 6? Another 24 days to go. So in 6 days, we've covered a lot of materials. And if there's something personal that you need, please share it with me and I'll do my best to incorporate that. Okay, I wish you a great night. And hopefully you're having better weather than I am here in New York. Have a good night. Bye-bye.